This kid, let's call him Steven. He spent an entire year saving up. We're talking birthday money, pulling weeds, every $5 bill he could find. He didn't use that money to buy games or food or candy or nothing. He bought a gallon of slate gray paint, some shelves, a desk, and some other things. He spent his entire spring break sanding the floors of his room, painting the walls, setting up his desk and his computer, all by himself. And by the time he was done, he had the best room in the entire house. I did it. Steven then went to a 3-day science camp. Well, on Sunday, when it was over, he gets dropped off back at his house, and he enters through the garage. And in the garage, he sees it. His desk, his bed, his shelves, just sitting there in the middle of the garage. What is going on? So he sprints upstairs. The door to his room is locked, and he hears music coming from it. Well, his sister finally opens it. The gray paint was gone. It had been covered in a cheap coat of white, and his sister's ring light was right by the window. Her bed was there, with pink bedding. It was completely different. That's when his dad came out. Oh yeah, son, by the way, we moved your stuff out of your room. We figured your sister could have a better use for it. You see, his sister was a wannabe TikTok content creator, and he said her content was suffering because her old room had no natural light. And since Steven fixed up the room so nicely, it was the perfect studio for her. Where am I supposed to go? Well, your stuff's in the garage, son. Why don't you go build something in there? He spent his own money to renovate a room that he wasn't even allowed to keep. Another instance of horrible parents. You must clean the dish before you put it in the dishwasher. What? Kenny's mom had this incredibly specific belief that the dishwasher was only meant for sanitizing, not cleaning. If you put a plate in there with a smear of sauce on it, she would pull each and every dish out of there, give you a lecture, and make you wash every dish before you put it back in. Kenny, look at this. A smudge of barbecue sauce. Now take these all out, rewash them, and put them in the dishwasher. Kenny spent 45 minutes every single night scrubbing clean plates and cups before putting it in the machine. He'd be there scrubbing, looking at it. Mom, it's literally called the dishwasher. Can't we just start putting them in there and that's it? No, Kenny. He does this for years. Scrub dish, put dish in dishwasher, dishwasher run, dish done. One day he goes to his friend Steve's house. They have dinner there. His mom takes all these greasy, messy, nasty plates and puts them directly in the dishwasher. Huh, so Steve, your mom just puts them in the dishwasher? Yeah, it's a dishwasher, Kenny. It washes the dishes. Bruh. Kenny then realized he spent years doing a pointless task because of his mom's OCD. Mom, Steve's dishwasher cleans their dishes just fine. Yeah, well, Steve's family probably shares a shower towel, so, jeez. I think she was a therapist. Nothing is worse than being grounded in the last week of summer. Ryan's entire friend group had been together since kindergarten, but tomorrow, more than half of them were going to a different high school, so they were gonna be split up. And this night was their last hurrah. It was the goodbye. But Ryan's mom didn't care about this. She cared that Ryan forgot to take the trash out on Wednesday. I don't care if it's an end of an era, Ryan. You showed lack of responsibility. You are not going to that bonfire. The bonfire was the event, across town at one of the buddies' houses. So that night, Ryan sat at his window, watching the group chat blow up with pictures of s'mores, the bonfire, smiling and laughing faces. It was the night his childhood was ending. He thought it was over, until he hears people talking outside of his house. Huh? What? He looks out and he sees Cam and his entire group of friends pulling lawn chairs out of Cam's dad's truck. All right, guys, grab them all. I got mine. Yeah, me too. They set up a portable grill in Ryan's driveway. They all sat around it, and they began roasting marshmallows. What are you guys doing? If you can't come to the fire, we're bringing the fire to you. So Ryan goes down there, and he joins them. Not long after, his mom comes out. She's angry. But just as she's about to snap, a minivan pulls up, and one of the kids' parents comes out. They're not there to pick up the kid. They're there to join. Oh, hey, Carla. Steven said that you were having a bonfire in the driveway. We're here to join you. So, to not look like a horrible mother, she just said, yeah, grab a seat. I'll go get some drinks for us. And just like that, 10 kids, 6 parents, and a golden retriever all hanging out in her driveway. And she realized she wasn't just about to be a strict mom. She was about to be the person that ruined these kids' summer. The last one they'll get like this. The night ended, the kids said their goodbyes, they went their separate ways. And that just proves it. When the group is strong enough, not even the grounding of the century could stop the party. It's beautiful. Most kids start a lemonade stand to make some extra cash, but Dax was playing a much darker game. He opened a barber shop in his garage, and even though his fades were terrible, every kid was lining up for a $5 buzz cut. Step up, who's next? It was like the social event of the summer. Everybody was hanging out, listening to music, laughing at how bad the haircuts were. Bro, you look goofy. What? But Miles noticed something weird. After every haircut, Dax was picking up some of the hair and putting it in a Ziploc bag. Huh. Once the day was over, Dax had cut like 15 people's hair. Miles stuck around and asked him, "Bro, why were you putting your hair in bags? Hey, check this out." He brought him to a shelf, and on that shelf was hundreds of Ziploc bags. Each of them had hair in it, and each of them were labeled. This is Miles from August 12th. This one is Cooper from July 4th. Look at all these. I have the genetic blueprint of the entire 8th grade right here, labeled and dated. Miles just laughed. "Bro, you're weird." But Dax leaned in. "Everybody thinks I'm a bad barber." Which is true, but they don't realize I got a much bigger plan. Next time someone does me dirty, steals my seat at lunch, makes fun of me, I'm gonna find a crime scene anywhere, and I'm gonna drop their hair right in the middle of it. What? Let's say Miles calls me a loser. Well, I hear sirens. I follow the sirens. A crime scene. There was a murder. Miles goes right on the floor. The police. "Whose hair is this?" They go to the computer. It's Miles. Miles goes to prison for murder. Bro, that is so messed up. And it was. And obviously, that really wouldn't work. But Miles made sure to stay Dax's friend, just in case. You would hate for some of his hair to end up at a crime scene. Here's what happens when you sell fake hall passes for 2 weeks at school. This kid Tyler was running an entire business. He'd been selling hall passes for basically anybody that wanted to skip class. $5 a pop. The passes, they looked legit as well. Official watermark, teacher signatures, the whole deal. Everyone thought he had some kind of connection to the front office, and he wouldn't sell too many at one time because he didn't want the school to get suspicious, so it was a limited supply he would sell per month. Well, this quiet girl named Maya, hi, I'm Maya, she'd been watching this whole thing go down for weeks. She never said anything, she just observed. Well, one day, she sees Tyler drop one of the passes on the ground. So she picks it up, looks at it for a second, and then puts it in her pocket. Now, she wasn't gonna say anything about it. She's like, "This is none of my business, let him do what he's doing." Well, the next day, Tyler tries to sell her a hall pass. "No thanks, I'm okay." But then Tyler starts clowning her in front of the whole class. "You're such a teacher's pet. Were you too scared to get one of these?" Well, here's what Tyler didn't know. Maya's mom literally works for the school office, and she's the one that designs all official school documents. So Maya knows exactly what a real hall pass looks like, down to the specific font and paper stock. Now, like I said, she wasn't gonna snitch on him, but now she is. She takes the hall pass that she found, goes to the principal, and breaks down everything wrong with it. The font is off, the signature's been traced, and this is the wrong paper. This is basic paper from Staples. Principal takes a few days to investigate, pulls up some security footage, and catches Tyler selling these hall passes multiple times. Tyler got a 2-week suspension, and Maya didn't say a word about it to anybody. Nobody knew she snitched. She just went right back to being quiet. That's why you gotta be careful who you disrespect. Somebody might ruin you. This second grader decides, "I want to do something nice for my teacher." So one morning before school, she's outside and she picks a few apple blossoms. Enough to hold in one hand, and she was gonna give it to her teacher. She's gonna love this. She carries them all the way to school. And when it's time, she walks up to her teacher's desk. "I got these for you." Now you would think the teacher would be like, "Oh my goodness, thank you." But where'd you get these? From a tree? Well, that's when the teacher snaps. "You pulled these from somebody's tree, in their yard. You stole them." "No, I didn't." "No, I don't want to hear a single word from you. I'm tearing these flowers up. I'm throwing them away. You need to learn about rules, young lady. This is disgraceful. Sit down." Absolutely heartbreaking. This girl just wanted to do something nice and the teacher flipped out. Later that day during recess, her older sibling finds her. She was crying alone. "Oh my God, what happened?" She explains the situation. Well, he was ticked off. He storms inside and he yells at that teacher. "What'd you say to my sister? She was trying to do something nice for you today. You know where she got those flowers? From our backyard." Yeah, the flowers were their family's. She didn't steal them from anybody. The older brother then got a detention for yelling at a teacher, but he doesn't care because the way that teacher treated his little sister was unacceptable. That's a good brother. That's a bad teacher. At this school, snacks were allowed, but certain snacks were banned, like hot Cheetos, Takis, and anything sour. And the school wasn't joking about this either. If you got caught with them, that was a detention immediately. "Is this Sour Patch Kids?" "Yes." "Detention." So them being this illegal made kids want them more. So one kid's sitting back looking at the situation. He's like, "Okay, so these snacks are basically illegal, but everybody wants them." And he commits. He goes to the store, and his bedroom becomes a storage. Boxes, drawers, bags, all full of these banned snacks. Every morning, he would grab a small handbag, nothing too crazy, and he would put a bunch of these snacks in there. He would then take it to school. And he's not selling openly. He's being very discreet about this. Between classes, quick handoffs, and it blows up. People are nervous buying them. "Hey, bro, let me get some Takis and sour gummies." "Got you." Everybody's paranoid. So he makes it very clear. Every time he does a sale, he says this: "If you're caught with this, that's on you. If you snitch, that's a whole different issue. And standing by him every single time is his best friend. Big buff dude. He never talked much. If you snitch, he'll find you and he'll get you. Yeah, and nobody snitched. For a while, one kid did, and he wasn't caught with candy or in the act of buying it. He snitched because he was petty. He was jealous of this kid's business and he wanted to shut it down himself, so he did. And there was a huge investigation launched, and that kid who started this business was expelled. That's too much. This teacher was so strict for no reason. Her class was the only class in school that had this rule. No backpacks at your desks ever. They stay in your locker. Backpacks couldn't be under your chairs, couldn't be under your desks, couldn't be leaning against the wall. And if you forgot something, too bad. No trips to your locker, no borrowing stuff from other students. She wouldn't even lend kids a pencil if they needed it. Miss, can I have a pencil? If you forgot your supplies, that meant a 0 for the day. Well, kids usually messed up. Some kids forgot their notebooks, some forgot their papers, pencils. It was a thing, and they were getting 0s. And she wouldn't even bend a little. You know the rule. Well, one day the class decides to coordinate. Every single student in that class on this particular day went in with nothing. No notebooks, no pencils, no pens, no papers, nothing. They were there just themselves. They sit down, they fold their hands in front of them, and they just stare ahead. The teacher looks confused. Then she starts handing out the worksheets for the day. No one moves. Why is nobody writing? We all forgot everything today, Mrs. Cabinet. If we had our backpacks, maybe we'd have our stuff. Oh, well, you all know the rule. The entire class gets a 0 for that day. The next day, they do the same thing, and they get a 0 again. The third day in a row, the class is sticking to their guns. They're all showing up with nothing. They get a 0 again. Parents start calling, asking why their students' grades are tanking. The principal sits in one day and figures out what's going on. Milk! The students were then allowed to bring their backpacks to class. The frickin' protest worked. And those 0s got erased from the gradebook. Their grades were back to normal. That's right. Secret Santa Day. The rule, you pick a name, you don't say the name you picked. Teacher's walking around with a basket. Everyone picks a name. All right, pick and shh. Pick and shh. Good. Pick and shh. After everybody picked, this one girl asked another girl, who'd you get? And for some reason, this girl completely forgets the whole point of this. And she says, I picked Tyler. And this is where this all just crumbles. Tyler's head shoots up. What? Kayla's my Secret Santa? Dude, I'm cooked. She's gonna give me a horrible gift. Well, who do you have? I got Billy. Nice. At this point, the whole system collapses. Everyone's telling each other who they got, and then the teacher got mad, and then everyone else got mad, and they blamed it on the original girl, Kayla, who said she had Tyler. So if it wasn't for her, this might have gone smoothly. But it didn't. Hey, happy holidays. The first week of school, the vending machines in the hallway were out of order, but one student realized that they weren't broken. The school just wasn't letting anybody use them. Sorry kids, they're fixing them next month. No snacks. No snacks? Oh man. But one day, this junior named Derek saw one of the janitors unlock the machine with this tiny round key. Well, he recognized this silver key. It was the same kind of key his dad used for his padlocks at work. Well, that night, Derek dug through the junk drawers at his house, looking for these keys, and he found about 5 of them. Yes. Yes! The next day, during the passing period, he went to the vending machines. He put the first key in, and it unlocked. Apparently, it was the most basic of these keys, and it worked. He opened it up just enough to grab one snack and put it in his backpack. Well, this gave him a brilliant idea. By the end of the week, he had gone into that vending machine multiple times, and only took out the most popular, most tasty snacks. And because these vending machines had been broken for so long, nobody really noticed, and there weren't any cameras in the hallway. Well, he would take these popular snacks, and he would sell them for double the price of what the vending machine would have sold them for. Yo, bro, you always have the best snacks. Where do you get them? Don't worry about it, Chief. Don't worry about it. By the time the school fixed the vending machines, Derek had made a good chunk of change, and nobody ever realized that those snacks were taken. Now that is crazy, and you gotta respect the hustle. One Saturday morning, this kid's at a grocery store with his mom. They shop a bit, and now they're in the cashier line. Oh, sweetie, I forgot to get a gallon of milk. Can you go get one for me, please? Sure, Mom. It's a simple job, so he goes, he gets the milk, and he's jogging back to the cashier. Well, right when he gets there, he trips, the jug falls out of his hand, and the milk spills everywhere. under carts, onto shoes. People are so mad. He has no idea how to respond to this. This kid has anxiety. So what he does is he gets down on all fours and he tries to scoop it up. But why would that work? He has nowhere to put it. Then this kid freaks out and he tries to lick it off the floor like he's a freaking house cat. His mom was so stunned she couldn't even speak. Finally, this old guy came over. He had a mop. Kid, move. I'll clean the milk. Mom was so embarrassed she didn't even buy anything. She left all of her items at the belt and she left the store with her kid. That's wild. So this kid gets invited to a birthday party by accident. Oh boy. Oh nice, I'm invited. He has the same name as the kid who was supposed to be invited. So on the day of the party, he shows up to the door holding a gift. Oh, hey, you're not the one we were supposed to invite. Oh, honey, we can just let him stay, right? No, I think he should probably leave. It's okay, I'll go. Right as he turns away and was about to leave, he hears a voice from the hallway. There's a problem. This dude steps out of the bathroom. He's pale. The toilet's clogged, and it's clogged bad. The dad's like, no, don't worry, I'll handle it. Just give me a minute or two. No, like, the water's rising and it won't stop. At this point, the kids and the parents are swarming the hallway. They're watching this water rise slowly, about to overflow. Parents are panicking, kids are screaming. The dad rushes in and he tries plunging. It's not working. He flushes again. Horrible idea. Water now begins to spill over. Oh my God, get the towels. Now the shy kid that was invited on accident watches all this happen and then he says, everybody stop, give me a minute. He goes to the kitchen, he grabs a large spoon, like this super long ladle. He takes the plunger from the dad, he goes into the bathroom and he shuts the door. He was in there for 5 minutes. Everyone's sitting outside waiting, it's completely silent. All you hear is swishing and plunging. What is happening? Milk! After 5 minutes, he steps out, calm, completely unfazed. We're good, toilet's fine, everything's settled, and I cleaned the floor as well. Hold on, let me see. Wow. The dad tests the toilet. It works, and it's spotless in here. And everyone starts cheering. The kid's then like, all right, I guess I'll go now. No, you're staying. You're a freaking legend. The kid stayed and they had a great time. He made a lot of new friends that day, and he really did leave a legend. These kids are insane. The circus was in town for this one weekend. And back behind one of the tents, tied to a little metal post, was a llama. Friendly, calm, just chilling there, tied to the post. Dude, look at the llama. I like him. Let's call him Serge. Hey Serge, wanna go for a quick walk? Dude, no. They weren't trying to steal him, they were just trying to get a picture of them walking Serge. So they undid Serge from the post, walked him around a little bit, and tried to put him back. But here's the thing, Serge didn't want to be put back. He kept following these kids around like he'd known them for years. Dude, Serge is following us. Bro, he's like our friend now. So they started walking him around the frickin' town. They brought him to the convenience store, strolled him through the town center, and then they said, dude, let's try to get him on the bus. Yes. They walk a literal llama onto the public transportation. The bus driver was like, I don't get paid enough for this. Just sit down as long as you pay for the llama. They rode the whole bus line with the llama on there. Bro, look at Serge. Dude, he's loving this. Crazy thing is the circus didn't even realize the llama was gone until one of the workers of the circus saw multiple Snapchats from multiple people around the town who had taken a picture of Serge. But before anybody could freak out too much, the kids walked the llama back to the circus and tied him up. All right, Serge, it's been a great day. It's been the best day of my life. And that was it. No harm to the llama, no damage to the circus. It was the most peaceful llama kidnapping in the history of the world. Beautiful. There's this one Shell gas station in town, and one afternoon, a middle schooler decides that he is gonna run it. So he's standing in this gas station after school one day. He grabs one of those squeegees and he just starts wiping down cars. Hey, how's it going? Just cleaning up your windshield for you. Thank you, young man. The person would then pay for gas. No, get back in your car. I'll pump it for you and I'll put it away when it's done, all right? You are so sweet. Haha. Here's a couple quarters for you. And he just does that over and over and over again. He's getting quarters, sometimes dollar bills. And the best part, the actual clerk inside the gas station is this super old guy, so he doesn't really know what's going on at all. So day after day, this kid's working there like it's a full service gas station, cleaning cars, pumping gas, checking the air in the tires. One lady even goes inside and tells the real clerk, the new guy you hired is fantastic. We all love him. Oh. The clerk squints out the window and sees this kid wiping down a big SUV. Well, as long as he's not breaking anything, I'm fine with it. And for like a month straight, this kid ran his own after-school business at the Shell gas station and nobody stopped him. Now that is a real hustle. It started as a joke. A single piece of gum stuck to the wall behind the gym bleachers, hidden, tucked away. Well, one kid started adding to it. Then as a joke, he told his friends,
"Yo guys, donate your gum. We're building something behind the bleachers."
And every day after lunch, more and more pieces were being added to this gum blob. By October, it was the size of a shoebox. By December, it was this giant glob of pink, gray, orange, and blue colors. And it was giving off this strange but fruity smell. Kids would swing by and salute this gum blob every day after gym. It was this fun thing that everyone was kind of involved in. One day, the janitor warned him,
"Hey listen, I see this abomination behind the bleachers. You better clean this up."
No.
After the threat from the janitor, he knew that time was running out, so him and his friends tried to add as much as they possibly could to it. And then one day he goes back there and he sees 3 of the janitors scraping this gum blob away, and he was sad. But then he got a great idea. He went into the garbage where that gum was now sitting, and he cut off little pieces and put them into Ziploc bags. He put 10 pieces of this gum blob into different bags, and he sold them. Limited edition relics. And the crazy part is, the people that were actually involved in this bought them. I guess they wanted a keepsake, a memory. He sold those chewed bag pieces for $4 each. Honestly, hey, you gotta respect the hustle. This woman's daughter begged to learn piano, like for weeks. So finally her mom says, "Okay, but I'm not buying you a real piano, it's a keyboard." Doesn't matter, it's fine, her daughter is still super hyped. So they go to Target and her mom buys her this keyboard. But there's a catch. Okay, so you want piano lessons, right? Well, here is what we're gonna do. 6 months minimum, no quitting early, and you practice 20 minutes a day. And the kid agrees. At first, it's fine. She's learning songs, she's really enjoying this. Then week 8 hits. She starts not practicing, she starts skipping. One day here, one day there. You know, she's getting more homework, school's stressful, she can't do it all. And her mom reminds her, "Listen, every day you don't practice, you owe me those minutes. You will make them up." Then comes the school trip. 3 days, 2 nights, her entire grade's going. She's been excited about this for months. And the mom goes, "Hey, so I know your trip is coming up this weekend, but you've missed 11 practice days on the piano. So before you go, you need to make up 11 hours of piano practice." The kid's like, "Wait, what?" "Yeah, if you do not make up the 11 hours, you are not going on that trip." So she has to make up 11 hours of piano practice. But the thing is, the trip is like 4 days away. That's a lot of piano practice. The dad tries to step in. "Hey, we already paid for the trip. This is kind of ridiculous, don't you think? Kevin, I am teaching our daughter a lesson. If you don't want to support me on this, then get out." Well, the daughter tries to make up those 11 hours, but with homework and sleep, she can't do it. And her mom forces her to stay home from the trip. That is not okay. Oh man, it's raining. Wait, one fall day, school gets let out and it just starts pouring rain. Sheets of rain drenching everybody running for the buses. Well, one kid looks around and instead of running to safety, he goes to the hill behind the school. He takes his backpack off and he dives straight down the muddy hill. Yo, look at Steven. They watch Steven shoot to the bottom of the hill. He's soaked, he's covered in mud, but he's laughing. He's having an amazing time. And just like that, a crowd forms and they join him. Yo, I'm next. And suddenly half the school forgets about trying to stay dry in the rain. They all start to embrace it. They're lining up, one after the other, sliding down this muddy hill. Yo, this is so much fun, right? People are covered in mud, their shoes are ruined, their clothes are just dirty. But for that one afternoon, nobody cared at all. It wasn't about looking cool or staying dry or getting home. It was just pouring rain, a muddy hill, and a ton of frickin' fun. And that's absolutely beautiful. Have a good day, sweetie. Don't miss the bus. I won't. He waves, he shuts the door, he walks down the street, and he pulls out his phone and he calls the school. Hi, this is Mr. Thompson. My son's gonna be sick today. Johnny Thompson? Okay, sorry to hear that. I'll mark him down as absent. Have a great day. He then walks to the local store, buys a bunch of candy, and he hangs out at the park. Meanwhile, his mom and his dad had just finished a morning appointment. Hey, since we're both off work today, let's go surprise Johnny with some lunch. That's a great idea. We'll get him some Wendy's and we'll drop it off at the office. We'll have him come down and say hi. Perfect. They get the Wendy's, they pull into the school parking lot, and they walk into the front office with a brown Wendy's bag and a Frosty. Great parents. Hi, we're here to drop this off for Johnny, our son, Johnny Thompson. Oh, Johnny's not here today. What? Oh yeah, Mr. Thompson called in this morning. He's sick. I'm Mr. Thompson. No, I did not, and no, he is not. Oh, boy. Now cut to Johnny, their kid, in the park, playing phones on his game and eating candy like he's a freaking king. His mom calls him, and he doesn't even think at first. Hey, Mom, what's... I know what you did. Oh, man. He then goes home. His parents come home with the cold Wendy's and the melted Frosty. Johnny was grounded, but they still let him eat the Wendy's. It happens. It's the end of the semester. Grades are locked except for one final group project. Well, this kid named Ryan is already failing the class. Even if he gets an A on this project, he's still done. Nothing matters. Well, his teammates on this group project, he overhears them talking. If I get a B on this project, I pass the class. Same, I can't fail this. The night before the presentation, Ryan's in his room and he's on his laptop. He goes to the Google Docs and the Google presentation and he deletes everything. The next morning in class, it's a nightmare. Okay, Kayla, Kyle, and Ryan's group, you're next. I don't know what happened. It's not here anymore? Wait, let me see. It's all blank. What happened? Oh, that's so weird. Well, did you have backups? No, you know how strict I was about this. You all get a 0. My mom's gonna kill me. The group mates and a teacher later found out what happened and Ryan was suspended and he failed. And the other two were able to redo the project and pass. So there's that. So it's midnight on a Friday and two friends, Ryan and Caleb, they sneak out to get Taco Bell. So they grab the car keys off the kitchen counter. We'll bring the car back before anybody notices. Heck yeah, dude, this is so awesome. They get in the car and they take off, windows down, music blasting. They're laughing, having the time of their life, when the car begins to make a little puttering noise. Dude, what's that noise? Oh, it's nothing, bro. Don't even worry about it. But it wasn't nothing. The car begins to slow down and then it stops completely. Oh, crap, we're out of gas. Dude, are you serious? Yeah, but look, there's a gas station right there. We'll just push the car, we'll be fine. So they put the car in neutral, put the car's hazards on, and they push the car up to this gas station. Oh, we did it. Perfect. Oh crap, I don't have my wallet. Can you put some gas in? Yeah, I don't have my wallet either. What? Do you have Apple Pay? No, they didn't even have any frickin' money. Even if they made it to Taco Bell, they wouldn't have been able to buy anything anyway. That's insane. So they put the car back in neutral and they started pushing. 1 mile, then 2. A cop car passes once. Oh. But it doesn't stop. By the time they rolled it back into the driveway, the sun was beginning to rise. They're drenched in sweat, they're dead silent, and they get inside. Thankfully, everybody is still asleep. Bro, dude, that was insane. And the crazy part is, I'm still freaking hungry, man. That's crazy. It's 1 a.m. at Ryan's birthday sleepover. I'm Ryan. Pizza boxes everywhere, video games on the TV, and then Ryan falls asleep. Hey, yo, birthday boy fell asleep first. Do we have to mess with him? And so they did. One kid grabs a permanent marker and begins drawing stuff on his face. No. Another kid takes the entire bag of Cheetos and begins dumping it on his chest and putting Cheetos in his pockets. Cheetos here, some Cheetos there, mountain of Cheetos right here, Cheetos in your pocket. Nice. Then one kid takes a raw hot dog out of the fridge and puts it in his ear. Yeah, hot dog. And that's what woke him up. Gah! What's going on? Why am I covered in Cheetos? Don't look in the mirror. What do you mean? But the thing is, Ryan didn't see this as some sort of lighthearted prank. He saw red and began freaking the absolute heck out. You guys are dead. He begins throwing stuff all around the basement. Plates are shattering, windows broken. He takes the tiniest kid there, named Jensen. I'm Jensen. Picks him up and throws him at the flat screen TV. Jensen's fine, he's got a couple bruises, but the TV is destroyed, and pretty much so is the entire basement. His parents then wake up, come downstairs to see what's going on, and they freak out as well. They send everybody home, and Ryan was grounded for a month. So there was this one teacher, and he lost his freaking mind. At this one school, every single spring, there was this thing called Wildlife Week. For 1 whole week, classes would go outside the school and go into the woods, and they would just explore, learning about wildlife and creatures and stuff like that. It was everyone's favorite week. But this one teacher, older, gray hair, mid-50s, he decided that the kids in his class had to pay a wildlife tax. For this year, kids, you have to pay me if you want to participate in Wildlife Week. The students are sitting there stunned, and one kid was just like, I ain't paying for that, old man. There will be consequences if you don't cooperate. Prove it. Well, that made this teacher incredibly mad, and he snaps. He walks 3 steps towards this kid and just punches him right in the face. The kid's knocked out cold. The teacher's looking around like, oh my god, what did I just do? School security runs in because they heard all the ruckus. They dragged this guy out of the school. He was fired. He went to jail for a little bit, and yeah, that's it. But, hey, that's crazy. This is my house and my rules. This one dad ran his house like a frickin' business. Instead of allowance, there was a chore system. Every Sunday night, he'd post a list on the fridge. Vacuuming, dishes, mowing, even stuff like wiping down the baseboards. All right, kids, this is your work week. Everything must be done by Friday. And here's the catch. If something wasn't done, or it was done poorly, you would owe him $5. And no, they weren't losing allowance. They didn't get an allowance. They would actually owe him $5. So Friday after work, he would come into the house. He had a clipboard, and he would check every single thing that he put on the chore list. Your bedroom trash can was still full. There was grass clippings all over the yard. That's $10 total. Didn't matter if you had a job or not. If you were in debt that Friday night, you had the weekend to figure it out, or else. One of his kids ended up mowing 3 neighbors' yards. Another one was begging for shifts at the local ice cream shop. Hey, can I please work a few hours today? Who are you? And if you didn't pay him by Sunday night, he would start taking stuff. Game controllers, headphones, even his kids' bikes. There was no limit. And that has to be the craziest thing I've heard in a long time. Come here, idiot. Not you again. Every single day at lunch, this same bully would walk by this kid. He would slam his lunch tray down and laugh. Oops, my bad. I guess you're eating off the floor again. The kid would just pick it up. He would try not to cause a scene, but it kept happening every single day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, finally, this kid had enough. He snapped. One day, he showed up to lunch with a shiny metal lunchbox. It looked normal, and nobody thought twice. But inside the lunchbox were 2 heavy bricks. The thing was heavy, but he was carrying it around like it was normal. So here comes the bully. He's smirking. Hey, let me help you with your new lunchbox, lunch boy. Oh, okay. And just like every other day, the bully smacks the lunchbox. But right as the bully's hand hits the lunchbox, the kid lets go right above the bully's foot. My toe! I think it's broken. Oops, my bad. And the bully's toe was broken, but it was his own fault. After that day, he did not mess with this kid ever again. Yeah, good. Mr. Donnelly was the new history teacher. Perfectly combed hair, crisp tie, he was very well put together. Then one day, one kid finds him on a bodybuilding website. Apparently, Mr. Donnelly used to compete in bodybuilding competitions. Well, he saw this picture of him, spray tan, oiled up, posing like a bodybuilder, and his bodybuilding name was Titan Steel. Well, this kid tells a bunch of people in his class. And the next morning, good morning class, how are we doing today? Good morning, Titan Steel. He's shocked. Excuse me? Oh, sorry, Mr. Donnelly. And by lunch, everybody knew Mr. Donnelly's secret. Hey, Mr. Steel, you gonna bench the vending machine? What you got for lunch today, Titan? A bunch of chicken breasts and protein powder? Oh my god. And he's hearing it all day, every day, whispers of Titan Steel this, Titan Steel that. By January, he freaking snaps. If one more person says that name, I am quitting Titan Steel. The next day, he was gone and there was a sub. He actually quit that job. I guess he would rather be unemployed than be Titan Steel. Wow, that's absolutely insane. So this school was doing Spirit Week. You know, Pajama Day, Wacky Wednesday, stuff like that. Well, on Wacky Wednesday, this one kid showed up in a full suit of armor. Boots, gloves, gauntlets, the whole thing, 3 layers, night helmet, it was epic. And the school let him keep it on. Well, after second period, these 3 8th graders, who were the school bullies, decided to make fun of him. Hey, nice outfit, Tin Man. What you got under there? Yeah, nice outfit, metal boy. Well, he's just standing there, not saying a word. The bullies didn't like this, so they start to attack him. What's your problem, dude? Yeah, what's your problem? My foot. One punches his shoulder, his hand is shaking, it might be broken. Some kid kicks him in the groin, his foot is hurting. And the third one, big guy, punches his knee and literally breaks his wrist. Ow! My foot! My foot! My wrist, guys. Guys, my wrist. It's broken. It's broken. Principal shows up and calls it a school fight. The kid in the armor gets suspended for a week, even though he did not touch any of them. He literally just stood there in his knight armor that the school let him wear. And the bullies, they didn't get in trouble at all. And that, my friends, is messed up.
রুটি ঠান্ডা গেলা
রুটি ঠান্ডা
ঠান্ডা মানে আব্বা বরফের লাহান ঠান্ডা এটা রুটি
শ্বশুর আব্বা আপনারে আপ্যায়ন করে নাই খাতির যত্ন করে নাই
না আব্বা আমি তো
বিলাই মারার রাত আজকা আজকা যদি তুই ঠিক মতো দামকে দিবার মানুষ বাইরে গেছিস গা নালে বললাম সারা
আর দোস্ত মাগো আছে ওগো খানদান আর আমাগো খানদান এক না অদ্ভুত কিছু নিয়ম কানুন পালন করতে যাইয়া তোমার বাড়ি
তুমি কইতেছোটা কি আমগোর খানদানের পোলাপাইন যদি একবার ঘর জামাই হয়ে যায় গা ওরা তোর খানদানে ফেরত যাবার পারে না
আমি আব্বা আমারে বুঝামু
কি বুঝাইবা তুমি
হয় নাই কা তুমি আমারে বুঝাইতে পারতাম আমারে মারলা ওসব আমগো বংশে
গাছকে এইসব হইতেছে আব্বা আমি কই যাবো আব্বা আপনি আমার প্যারা ড্যাডি আব্বা
তুই আমার দাঁড়াবি না দূরে থাক দূরে থাক
আমি খাটে ঘুমিয়েছিলাম আমার লাথি মেরে খাটে হালায় ভাইজান লেটে লেটে সারে ঘুমাইছে
হারামজাদা মিছে কথা কস্তুর
বউয়ের সেবা সুন্দর করে না করতে পারলে জামাই পিটানোর রেওয়াজও আছে আই তুমি খুঁজতে পারো
না
ঠিক ভাইজান ভাবি ফালতু খানদানে কইলাম আজকে তো আপনার বাসর ভাই
ফাইনাল ডিসিশন লয়ে লইছি আজকে রাতে কিন্তু আপনার লগেই ঘুমাবো
আমার লগে কেন বাজান আপনি আমার লগে ঘুমাইবেন কেন
জিন্দেগি তুই এই ডার পোষাইতে পারবি না বাজার তোর আমি সাজিয়ে দিতাছি তুই জলদি
ক্যাচে লাগাইছে
মা তুই এক কাম কর জামাই লইয়া শ্বশুর ভাই জাগা ওন মা শ্বশুর
এই তো একেবারে বাঘের বাচ্চা
ফুদি দে
আচ্ছা বাঘের মতন যাবি
এর লাগা চুপ আছিলাম কিন্তু অহনা চুপ থাকান যাইবো না
কিরে সাজান
আমরা মানি না আমগো খানদানে আমরা এক গ্লাস পানি পর্যন্ত ডাইলা না খাই
আমাগো খানদানে আছে
এই ভাবি একটা ফালতু খানদান থেকে আইছে এই সব খানদানের আমি ধারদারি না
চলো না আমরা বাড়িতে ফিরে যাই
তুমি কি পাগল হয়ে গেছো নি এইটাই আমার বাড়ি এখনতে
চৌধুরী সাহেবের সাথে আমি কি কথা কইছি তুমি কোনো কথাই কই নাই কা সাজান তোমারে কইলো এত
দিচ্ছেন হ্যাঁ দিচ্ছেন না এলা বাইরন আমার বাড়িতে বাইরন
একটা হাসা করছেন আব্বা জান আপনার পোলার এই বাড়ি থাকা কোনো বিতলামি করলে আমি তোরা ঘাড়াই কিন্তু ভাবলাম আপনাকে একমাত্র পোলা গাড়াইলে আবার দিলে চোট পাই
দিতাছো তুমি
শোনো তোমাগো খানদানে যেমন কিছু নিয়ম আছে আমাগো খানদানেও আছে
এই সব ফাত্রা নিয়ম কেউ যেন জানবার না পারে মনে থাকবো তো তোর যে নতুন ভাবি
হয়ে যাইবো
যা মন চায় তাই করো এই ফোন আমি দিব না কার লগে কথা কইতাছো হ্যাঁ
আমার ফোন দাও
আরে বাপ রে বাপ কইতেছো কি তুমি আমার খানদানি পোশাক আমি খুলে ফেলামু তুমি কি আমার অর্ডার করতেছো
শিউলিমালা যা কয় তাই অর্ডার
শেষ আমি দেইকা লমু কিন্তু কয়ে দিলাম
আম্মা
ওই কি ভাবতেছো ভাবা ভাবি বাদ দাও কইলাম অহনি পোশাক চেঞ্জ করে আসো নাহলে তোমার সারা রাত গা চুলকাইবে আমি শাহজাহানের আব্বা আম্মা দিলে চোট পচাইছি এর প্রতিশোধ নিতে গিয়ে শাহজাহান তোমাকে মধ্যে
বইয়ের হাতে মার খাওয়া চলে তাই কিছু কই নাইকা।
আমার খানদানে জামাই মারনের নিয়ম নাইকা।
তুই আমার এখান থেকে যাবি না মানে কি? অক্ষণ তুই বেরোবি।
আব্বা
ওরা তোর খানদানে ফেরত যাবার পারে না।
আমি আব্বা আমারে বুঝামো।
কি বুঝাইবে তুমি?
হয় নাইকা, তুমি আমারে বুঝাইতে পারতা, আমারে মারলা। বুঝছো, আমগো বংশে
আজকে এইসব হইতেছে। আব্বা আমি কই যাবো আব্বা? আপনি আমার প্যারা ড্যাডি আব্বা।
এই যে তুই আমার দাঁড়াবি না, দূরে থাক, দূরে থাক।
আমি খাটে ঘুমাচ্ছিলাম, আমার লাফ মেরে খাটেতে হালায় ভাইজান লেটে লেটে সারে ঘুমাইছে।
হারামজাদা মিছে কথা কস্তুর।
বউ সেবা সুন্দর করে না করতে পারলে জামাই পিটানোর রেওয়াজও আছে। আই তুমি কুস্তি পারো?
না
জি ভাইজান, ভাবি ফালতু খানদানে কইলাম আজকে তো আপনার বাসু গাই।
তো কি টিপে করলা?
লাগলে হেডাও টিপা দিমু। তুমি বরং আমার হাতটা ব্যথা করতেছে, হাতটা টিপা দাও।
যা মন চায় তাই করো, এই ফোন আমি দিব না। কার লগে কথা কইতাছো? হ্যাঁ,
আমার ফোন দাও।
আরে বাপ রে বাপ, কইতেছো কি তুমি? আমার খানদানি পোশাক আমি খুলে ফেলামু, তুমি কি আমার অর্ডার করতেছো?
শিউলিমালা যা কয় তাই অর্ডার।
এসে আমি দেইকা লমু কিন্তু কয়ে দিলাম।
আম্মা
ওই কি ভাবতেছো? ভাবাভাবি বাদ দাও কইলাম। অহনি পোশাক চেঞ্জ করে আসো, নাহলে তোমার সারা রাত গা চুলকাই। আমি শাহজাহানের আব্বা আম্মা দিলে চোট পচাইছি, এর প্রতিশোধ নিতে গিয়ে শাহজাহান তোমাকে মধ্যে